What's up YouTube, TheMainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always. I want to share something super special right now. Well, I don't know how special it is, but I ran into one of those walls in my Tekken development where I'm like, I just don't like where I'm at as a player and I have to do something about it. And this could be interesting to some of you guys. I'm gonna share how I'm trying right now to change up the way I play Tekken. And it's all because of this tournament. I played Nyko's $1,000 online tournament. My first fight, I only had one fight. It was a double elimination, but I was alone with my son. And during the fight here versus Ueki, I had Wilhelm watch some cartoons, but my conscience got the best of me when I was waiting for the second fight. It took so long, I didn't know when it was going to happen, but I got DQ'd because I took out Wilhelm, so he got to the playground. He's almost 2 years old, you know, they have so much energy in their legs, gotta get it out of their system, otherwise they have trouble sleeping. But so yeah, I only had one fight and it was versus Ueki. And this is the final fight of the set. It was a best of 3. It was 1-1 with me playing Marduk. And then I switched to Kazuya. And I'm gonna do some commentary on it here. And then I'll explain to you how disappointed I was in myself following this set. I really felt like, man, I'm just angry at myself. So here I'm playing against Ueki. He plays Leo, a character I see very seldom. My anti-Leo is quite bad. I think he's from Norway. Very solid player. But as you can see, I'm mostly looking at him. I'm trying to see an opening where I can punish. You know, I'm mostly blocking, and he's bum rushing me. And my defense is just falling apart completely. So here I'm like, okay, he's gonna be super aggressive. He's just gonna flail. Nice punish on my down for 2 there. And as you can see, he's just testing me with strings. And he goes into a stance, big sweep, and I'm just like, what's going on? I think if he had played a more, you know, conventional fundamental Leo, I would have had a better shot at this. But he went pretty bunga Leo. He was smart. I think he figured out quite early on that I was bad at the matchup. So he decided to just test my knowledge with strings. And you could see my nerves getting the best of me because I broke my #1 rule with Kazuya, which is don't use hell sweeps unless you have to. But yeah, I'm just throwing hell sweeps instead of checking him with mids because I'm stressed. I'm down 2 rounds. And it's just big sweeps. Orbital. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Pressure. Oh, twin pistons. Hoping he's gonna press. And there he presses a lot, so I thought Rage Art could be a good idea. But yeah, we're just watching this set so I can explain to you guys how I felt I failed horribly as a player. And then I'm gonna share with you guys some adjustments I've made just because of this very match here. So here I have a slight life lead, as you can see. Down for 2, no counter it. Back to 4, down for 4. He just keeps pressing. So I'm like, here I'm understanding I can just do dumb poking to try and, you know, lock him down or counter hit him as he's pressing. I'm just backing away, seeing if he's gonna whiff his big swings. Backing away. Hell sweep. Nice roll on the forward, forward, forward. Big counter hit. Went for perfect electric. Good idea there. Nice down forward 1-4. Forward 3. Big hell sweep. I'm gonna kill him. Down forward 4-4. No down forward 2. And I'm done. So, having good defense in Tekken is built upon having seen a specific situation multiple times. And having... this is why you think Ni, JDCR, and Arslan have lightning fast reflexes, but it's more about having been in a specific situation 1,000 times and knowing what are the common options here. King has his back towards the wall. Ooh! I'm looking for giant swing. I'll break a giant swing very quickly on reaction because I'm looking for it. What happened here was that I expected him to down for 2 my axe kick, Tsunami. He didn't. And then he goes in for the throw. I miss the throw break. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a throw. And then I see her, his or whatever, Leo's specific throw. Oh, and I'm like, oh no! Right! Leo has a throw that throws me into the wall. And he's in rage. And I'm like, I realized mid-sequence here. Here, I realized, oh right! He can do that. He's gonna Rage Art now, because the throw does 40 damage. Even more with Rage. And Rage, and I'm dead. It's gonna scale very little. I'm dead. And it's like, and it's on me. It's like, this is probably something green rank Leo players do. I'm certain. I'm certain that most Leo players, when they are in rage with their back towards the wall, this is probably the first thing they do. It's probably super obvious, but I have so little experience against this character that my first thought was not that he was going to do that. I was completely caught off guard. I was like, oh right, this is in the game. Because I see Leo once every 12 months, basically. So it's like, I've just realized that, obviously, if I want to be anywhere near competitive in this game, I have to reevaluate how I look at the game. What am I doing in terms of defense? My movement. And this knowledge gap here, where I feel like more than anything, he played really well, but I feel more than anything, I failed an exam, a test, a knowledge test. Have you seen the forward 1+2 throw into Rage Art? Super obvious, but it was not my first thought. So what have I done since then? I've realized that I'm not going to focus on Kazuya. I'm going to focus on Marduk just to change up how I play Tekken. Kazuya plays very fundamental and he's very limited. Kazuya is about punishment, electric, and 50-50. And as much as people think that he's cheesy and effective, he's super limited. It's like people like to tell me, his game plan is so simple, it's so easy to execute. Well, Ted, flip that on its head and you'll realize that his simple game plan hurts him a lot. Because it's so simple for your opponent to figure out what you're doing. He knows exactly you're gonna electric and throw 50-50s. And everyone understands that you can step Kazuya to the left, you can stay on the ground, you can launch the Hell Sweep. So the Kazuya has to compensate with very, very good timing. Kazuya is all about timing rather than mix-ups. When do you implement your attack rather than what move will you do? And obviously the execution demands are astronomical. So I'm going to become a Marduk main because I have much more fun and I'm now trying to learn the mix-up playstyle rather than playing on timing and 50-50s. I'm trying to now apply a playstyle that is more complicated but is easier in the way that my opponent needs to have really good defense to handle it. I get a lot of damage for free with Marduk. Oh, you can't break throws? That's half your HP gone, and I can just do it over and over. Test your throw breaking skill. How do you handle tackles? Do you know how to stand up after a knockdown versus Marduk? Oh, you don't? Clapped. You're dead. Oh, my Power Crush sets up crazy stuff. I have strings. Very valuable and good strings. to try and, you know, clap you. So with Marduk, I have a big mix-up bag, and it's the first time I'm really taking that playstyle to heart. And it feels so good playing Marduk, compared to how limited I am with Kazuya. So the coming months, I'm gonna focus like crazy on Marduk, and my hope is, I'm looking at a lot of the John and Joey Fury, and my hope is to get a really strong Marduk and have some, honestly, maybe some tournament okay success with him. And of course his huge comeback potential in tournaments. You can actually make some mistakes and then get a huge comeback. And what I'm also doing, just to show how committed I am to a change, is like, I'm gonna change up everything. You see my stick here? I've played Japanese ball joystick for 13 years. But I immediately, after that upsetting loss, I was like, nope. I switched it to a Korean bat. And while I feel it's not exactly as fast, I get less misinputs with this. It's more precise. And I'm playing every fight these days from player 1. I've been playing player 2 pretty much all of my arcade stick life. I mean, what, 14 years? And I'm like, now you know what? Whatever I'm doing on player 2, let's see if when I'm on player 1, I think differently when I play. Just like I did when I tried pad. Suddenly I felt to play more defensively, rather than do my old 50-50 flowcharts, big combos. Let's see on player 1 if I resort to a more defensive playstyle. So, yeah, that has been me re-evaluating myself as a player. I'm going to look more at defense, character knowledge. I'm going to main Marduk, apply a more tricky playstyle rather than, you know, hardcore 100% fundamental like you do with Kazuya. And I'm going to play Korean style with the bat top, and I'm going to play player 1 to see how that most likely changes my outlook on the game. Yeah. So I hope this was interesting, and you shouldn't underestimate how much that can actually change the way you play the game. Changing the side you play on, changing the controller you use, changing your character. It sounds very superficial, like it's not going to do a lot, but trust me, it can honestly completely change the way you your rhythm and timing, and how you prioritize defense versus offense. But yeah, I hope that was slightly interesting at least, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.